is Theodora Ibekwe-Oyebade. I'm an actress, a producer. It happens every day, and it can happen to anyone. Now, there's something is around when you're dressing. Story about being confident in whatever happens, and and it can happen to anyone. Now, welcome to this week's episode of the Youth Empowerment Show. Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the Youth Empowerment Show. It's still all about COVID. COVID is still everywhere. But trust me, by the grace of God, COVID must go. The vaccines are now available. So obviously, we are going to have a reduced death rate by fire, by force. It must happen. But today I'm going to be speaking, or rather, I will allow two of my guests that are coming on this show today to talk about their experiences during the COVID, when they had COVID. They both suffered from COVID-19. One of them, an adult, was actually hospitalized for months in the hospital. And the other one, as a youth, she had COVID as well, but she managed it at home. So they're going to talk about their experiences. The first person that will be talking about her experience when she suffered COVID and survived it is Dr. Jacqueline Wabara. Dr. Jacqueline Wabara is the CEO of Wabara Public Relations. She is also the organizer of Miss Nubian Beauty Pageant, and this pageant has been on for years. She's doing pretty well on that. If not for COVID, obviously, she would have done another edition of that beauty pageant. I've always been a judge there. So we've got a lot in common because I used to organize beauty pageants as well. So she is a good friend, and let's hear what she has to say about her experience when she had COVID exactly this time last year.
My name is Jacqueline Wabara, and this is my COVID-19 survivor story. Now, exactly this time last year, I was being rushed to a North London hospital, having suffered for 5 days prior with COVID-19 symptoms. And they were, when I say acute, they were acute. So much so, when I arrived at the hospital, I actually collapsed. So I can't recollect exactly what happened, but I know I was in an induced coma for a couple of days. And I know I spent in total just under 3 weeks in an ICU ward. Now, I thank the NHS for saving my life. I thank the nurses, the consultants, every single person who brought me back from what I would say the brink of death to satisfactory state of health. So much so, my viral load was low enough and I was discharged April the 10th, 11th. Now, for those people who don't know anything about COVID, if you have symptoms, if you don't have symptoms, obviously there are two different aspects. Now, obviously I had acute symptoms, and many people who have been hospitalized or not, but have actually experienced the COVID-19 symptoms, whether it's one, two, or all of them like I did, 60% have suffered from long COVID. Now, long COVID basically means despite having a zero viral load, as I did when I was discharged from hospital, the symptoms still persist, sometimes even worse than before. In my case, I had symptoms that were worse than I had before. So it affected my legs, it affected my breathing, and it affected my coordination. So long COVID itself is a condition in it as well as COVID-19. So my plight wasn't over when I was discharged after 3 weeks in hospital. It continued, as I said, for months. I had physiotherapy, I had speech therapy, and I had CBT in order to get me back to the best possible state of health I could be living back at home. It wasn't easy, and I can say it was very traumatic. Every single day I would put on the news and the death rate was getting higher and higher. Make it worse, individuals who were younger than me, who didn't have underlying symptoms, as I did, were passing away. And that was very concerning because prior to catching COVID-19, I recall a press conference where they estimated a maximum of 20,000 people would die from COVID-19. And as we all know, that figure exceeded 100,000. That's right, 100,000. And I am one of the lucky survivors. Sadly, I know 6 or 7 people, 3 that were very close to me, who didn't survive. Those 3 people who didn't survive were from the African community. That's right. And we all know we are more susceptible to catching COVID-19 than any other of the ethnicities. Asians also are very susceptible. As we can see from the figures of the individuals, the frontline workers, there are so many individuals who are of Black and Asian heritage. In my ward, the last week when I was in hospital, I live in North London, Hampstead, and it was the Royal Free Hospital, I need to state. Of the people that I know were admitted the same time as me, 60% of those were of African and Caribbean heritage, and the rest were of Asian heritage. Of that particular quota, 40% actually passed away. And I'm not talking about people who were over 80. I'm talking about individuals that are in their 50s and their 60s. So I feel more than blessed at this stage to have survived COVID-19.
Hello, my name is Theodora Ibekwe-Oyebade. The rates at which people are dying has been alarming. COVID is real. But trust me, the vaccination has actually slowed down the death rate. I have taken the vaccine.
My name is Dr. Malcolm A. Benson. I've taken the COVID-19 AstraZeneca vaccination.
My name is Maureen Layakon, CEO Charming Magazine, and I have taken the COVID vaccine.
My name's Ibekwe-Oyebade, and I've taken the COVID-19 vaccination.
My name is Samantha NQ. I've taken the vaccine.
My name is Judith Akunta Ajayi, and I have taken my vaccination.
My name is Patience Mpoji. I've had my COVID-19 vaccine.
My name is Mildred Nkechi. I'm here in London, United Kingdom, and I have just taken the vaccine.
My name is Ngozi Nwoba.
I have taken the vaccine.
My name is Theodora. I'm a media personality and event specialist. I have taken the COVID-19 vaccine.
My name is Chief Lady Ibekwe-Oyebade. And that was on Debo. I'm CEO, Quincy Limited and Quincy Bay Boutique. I'm a community leader. I've just taken my vaccine.
My name is Ruke and I have taken the COVID vaccine.
My name is Bumi West MC, popularly known as Baby of the House. I have taken COVID-19 vaccine.
My name is Princess Rita Akbojoto and I have taken the COVID vaccine.
My name is Ada and I have taken the vaccine.
My name is Oluwayemisi Akiremi and I've had my COVID-19 vaccine.
COVID is real. Let's all take the vaccine. Thank you.
So I survived COVID-19. I was discharged April 2020. But that wasn't the end of my COVID-19 plight. Long COVID was something I've never heard of and nobody else had. So when I was told that I was suffering from long COVID after complaining of not being able to walk properly, my muscles were aching, I was mumbling my words, I was even more forgetful than ever, I just presumed that was something that would go away within 3 weeks or so, having been discharged. But no. April, May, June, July, and August, I was suffering from long COVID. Anyone with long COVID will know it's 3 times worse than the flu, and it's something you can't describe. I think having had COVID-19, it was similar, but it was a COVID-19 on a different level, because with long COVID, you're not hospitalized. Long COVID can be treated at home with medication. So that's basically what happened to me. So April to August, I was having electrotherapy on my legs because my muscles stopped working. Why? They said it was because of the ventilator. Some said it was the medication. Some said it was a culmination of both. But the therapies that were needed to help me survive COVID-19 could have been responsible for me having symptoms that were classified as long COVID. So the plight wasn't over, but I thank God that around about September, I began to feel more or less like myself. My voice came back. I was walking 95% similar to as I was before. So I was grateful. Now, for those people who are suffering from long COVID now, be rest assured that eventually, at some point, you will get better, just as I did. Your life will get back to normal from a health perspective. Mentally, I would urge every single person to seek support, especially for post-traumatic stress. Mental health is also one of the areas of concern. But if you're suffering from long COVID, please do get the right support. It's out there. So many different services, third sector, are actually out there supporting the NHS, who were fantastic. I cannot reiterate how fantastic the NHS were, where I was concerned, and my recovery. January 2021. Great news. COVID-19 has vaccinations. Hooray! I thought every single person would be jumping for joy just as I was. But oh no, that wasn't the case. I was receiving numerous emails, WhatsApp messages, Facebook messages, Instagram messages from individuals who were urging myself and the rest of the population not to get the COVID-19. Now, the evidence that they used to support the reasons why it wouldn't be advisable were not medically backed, and they were not from individuals who seemed to have a clue about anything relating to viruses.
Hi, it's Nkira and you're watching the HRM Theodora Youth Empowerment Show. Don't touch that dial.
Anyway, I decided to ignore all of the scaremongering and the naysayers, and I got my invitation to take my COVID-19 vaccine during the mid to late January, and I had my first COVID-19 vaccine in the first week of February. It was an eye-opener in terms of when I went to the centre. I was the only black person that was there, which was a bit worrying. And since then, I noted many people are still adamant, and I'm talking about people from the predominantly black and Asian communities, they're adamant that they're not going to take the COVID-19 vaccine. My concerns are very, how do I put it? Worrying to the extent, I should say, their reasons for not taking the COVID-19 vaccine don't actually substantiate what the medical profession are saying. So I urge every single person who wants to get some kind of normality back to their life, who wants to live, who wants to be as healthy as possible, who wants to see past the COVID-19 era of suffering, of not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, of ill health. The only way we can begin to live a new normal is for every single person out there to take the COVID-19 vaccination, both 1 and 2, at their earliest convenience. The pandemic, as we all know, is being gradually eased down. And I do hope by August, every single person has read what they need to read. And though I'm talking about the people who are not too sure about taking it, please, I urge you to reconsider. I myself do not want to catch the COVID-19 and give it to someone else, and you shouldn't either. And there's only one way at present that can guarantee that. Of course, it can be still spread, we know that, but it's all about fatalities. And that's what people forget. 110,000 people died in the UK of COVID-19, and we need to halt that figure. That's right. That figure needs to not get any bigger or greater, and the only way that's going to happen if you take your vaccination. Lastly, I'd like to say or offer my sincere condolences to every single person out there who became affected by the COVID-19 virus. For every single person who lost someone close to them, my condolences go out to you and your families.
Hi, Jacqueline. Thank you very much for that story you've just told us. It's quite touching. And I'm really sorry that you went through all that, spent so much time in the hospital. But I thank God you managed to survive it. you're here today to give your testimony and, glorify God. Thank you very much for that, please. That's, I'm really sorry about that. And to every other person who had COVID and survived it, well, we all thank God, Our next guest on today's show is Miss Destiny Layoku. She's one of our youth, and she also had COVID-19 last year. Same time like this last year, but she managed it at home. She wasn't hospitalized like Dr. Jacqueline. She managed it well. She had all the symptoms, but let's hear from her.
Hi everyone, my name is Destiny Layoku, and I'm here to share with you my COVID-19 experience and survival story. So I contracted COVID-19 last year December around Christmas time, and with that I did have all the symptoms. I had a bad headache, I had a bad fever, I couldn't really breathe, I couldn't taste, I couldn't smell, I had bad fatigue, and so with that I had to go into self-isolation and take medicine and herbal remedies. And so I would say my survival story is just by the grace of God, because at the end of the day so many people did catch coronavirus and unfortunately they did not make it out alive. So I just thank God for everything, because I know I had to do what I had to do, for example taking these herbal remedies and medicine and just praying to get through this. So I'll say that was my survival story. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to the show. Thank you, Destiny Layoku, for that. Sorry about your COVID, but I thank God that you also managed it well and you are fine now, And we've had this COVID vaccine advert trying to encourage people to take their vaccine, and quite a few people have actually taken. We will be showing a few clips of them, having the vaccine.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you happy to have the vaccine?
Yes, I need to take my This is Amir.
Hello guys.
I need to take the vaccine.
Everyone please calm down.
Please calm down. Keep everybody safe. You need to take the vaccine.
Yes.
You're not going to turn into an alien. Take the vaccine. We need to keep everybody safe. Keep your loved ones safe.
And you didn't even feel a thing, did you?
No.
There you go.
No, just as easy peasy. Please take the vaccine, everyone.
Thank you guys. See you soon.
And it's as simple as that, folks.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Yes. Okay, how was it? Any side effect or any reaction?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
Okay. It's done. How was it? Was it painful or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Well done to, Ambassador Tina Giba and Princess Aino Omobari for taking their vaccines. That's quite good. I mean, all this will help to reduce the death rate and infection in the UK, and, within our community. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the guests, Dr. Jacqueline Wapara. Thank you to Destiny Layoku. Thank you to Aino for that, taking your vaccination. Thank you, Ambassador Tina, for doing the same. And thank you everyone for watching the show. We'll be back same time next week. Goodbye. Hi everyone, my name is Your Majesty Theodora Ibekwe-Oyebade. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I trust we're all keeping well. Ụmụnne m, afọ m bụ Theodora